My name is Connor Werner, and today I'll be presenting the gender issues present in disaster situations. Men and women both traditionally have had different roles in society, and these roles and stereotypes bleed into disaster situations. Because of the patriarchal nature of our society, men have assumed a much more dominant role. They are usually the primary head of household, responsible for feeding, clothing, and the overall care and protection of their family. As a result, men tend to be trained better in survival techniques and are overall better equipped to handle themselves in the event of a major disaster. This can also inadvertently put men at risk because they are primarily the ones in charge of search and rescue efforts, which can put them directly in the way of danger. When a disaster strikes, women have far more needs than men because as a whole, they are much more vulnerable and require different needs and priorities. This requires consideration of the policy level of these matters women face, which is clearly lacking. For example, during Hurricane Katrina, 15,000 to 20,000 people were crammed into the Louisiana Superdome for shelter. Men are able to reside in single locations for extended periods of time without much discomfort. However, women require much higher levels of privacy and protection from sexual harassment. In addition to this, some women may be pregnant or have small children to care for. These women need increased food and water and have difficulty in moving around. As you can see in these photos, because of the sheer amount of people crammed in the Superdome, some necessities had to be forgone in order to prolong the survival of the victims stranded there. Sexual abuse is another terrible crime faced by women during times of crisis. When they have probably already lost their homes, possessions, and possibly even their family members, this is the last issue women should be facing during or after disaster. There are not only mitigation and response problems, but also recovery problems for women. Women are much more likely to be displaced post-disasters, especially in countries where they have limited rights. They are also more likely to not receive compensation after disasters in countries where they are not viewed as equals to men. Even worse, it is more difficult for them to locate work after disaster because much of the jobs are directed towards men. In conclusion, the current process of disaster relief is simply not gender sensitive. Luckily, moves are being made by the UN to fix these horrible issues faced by women. Thank you.